let me ask you at this point, what was it that brought you guys? You say you came in shortly after he was after he performed his action. How did you hear about it? What inspired you to go down there and to record this? You say that you thought it might have been a short film after Salazar had basically ruled that the auction itself was illegitimate. But what attracted you to this?
Well, we live in Telluride, Colorado, and our little local newspaper, the Daily Planet, I believe it was, had a picture of Tim on the front page, and it probably was something like, I don't know, January 2nd or December 28th or something like that, and it explained what he had just done at a Bureau of Land Management auction. And George and I, had just finished a film called American Outrage, in which the Bureau of Land Management figured largely. And so I thought that what Tim did was very ingenious, very clever, very smart, and, without hurting anyone, without damaging any property, he had stopped this, what sounded like, an outrageous oil and gas lease auction without hurting anybody or doing anything like that. So I thought, wow, this is something I'd like to know more about. And George and I were on our way to a film festival with our last film, the one I just said, American Outrage, and we had to stop, just like today, and do a phone interview. And the show that was on, the person who was being interviewed right before us was Tim DeChristopher. And we listened to the end of the interview, and I said, that's the guy that, we would like to meet. And they asked him what was next for him, and he said he was on his way to the Wild and Scenic Film Festival in Nevada City, California, and that's exactly where we were on our way to. So, it was sort of serendipitous. As soon as we got to the film festival, we talked to the festival director and asked if they would introduce us to Tim DeChristopher, and by 6 o'clock that night, we'd met him. And then we started talking to him. He got to see the film we had done. He also got to see the relationship that we still had with the woman that we had made the film about. And by the end of the weekend, we'd sort of shaken hands and decided that, we'd follow him around and see what happened. And that was at the very beginning of 2009, and here it is, the middle of 2013, and we're still involved.
Well, we're about to open the film, obviously.
And so give us a little more information. When we say goodbye, I'm going to play a clip that you guys posted on YouTube of Tim DeChristopher, who was just recently let out of prison, and his thoughts upon being released from prison. But tell us
that was a wonderful Q&A that we did after a screening in Salt Lake. It was actually, the government really didn't think about it, but they let him out of prison on April 21st and April 22nd, obviously is Earth Day. So we formed a big screening in Salt Lake on Earth Day, and it was Tim's first opportunity to speak out. And we had his Q&A streamed to about 50 different venues around the United States as a pre-release before our New York premiere.
And so where can people see the film in the coming months, and how can they set up screenings? Just give us a little information about that.
Well, we're very excited because on May 17th, the film, Bitter 70, will open at the Quad Cinema in New York City, and for a week run. I think it's the 17th through the 23rd, and Tim will be there on the 17th and 18th. So it's his first trip, his first allowed trip after his incarceration. He has 3 years of probation now, and so he will be there at the Quad Theater on the 17th and 18th. And then we go to our next theatrical opening is in Los Angeles on June 7th for a week. But in between, we do community screenings, grassroots organizations, that sort of thing. And people can find out how to host a screening by emailing us at info@Gage Productions. And we'd love to. What we're trying very hard to do with this film is connect the dots. Try and get different grassroots groups and activists together so that they can move this process forward, and so that we can try to create a livable world for ourselves.
We'll post that email on our site at majority.fm, and also a link to bitter70film.com. Why don't you give us that email one more time so that we can make sure that we post that correctly?
Okay, so our email address is info@gageproductions.com, and then the website for the film, which will also take you to all kinds of information, is bitter70film, BIDDER film, bitter70film.com.
Yeah. I think starting tomorrow, the website, the links will take you to this Q&A that I talked about. We edited together about 6 clips of Tim answering questions in Salt Lake, and his answers are pretty impressive.
You know, if there's time, one thing that may or may not be on those clips, and that is something really important and really exciting, is that during Tim's 2 years of incarceration, he read a lot and studied a lot and applied for college. And he, in the last month that he was incarcerated, he was accepted to Harvard Divinity School with a full scholarship.
Wow.
So that's where he's going from prison.
Well, that's fantastic. Were there other parts that that you felt you would have liked to include into the film? It just didn't make it there?
Well, the only thing was that we would have liked to have had some interviews and had some points of view from the Department of Interior, Mr. Salazar, et cetera. Also, the BLM, Bureau of Land Management. As I said, they always canceled. We were able to interview one gentleman that had already retired, and he's the one that says in the film, sometimes the BLM would walk into a meeting and just say, "We own the White House. We can do what we want to do." And but unfortunately, he was the only one from the BLM we were able to interview.
And
so that's the only thing. I mean, I can't honestly say that there's tons of stuff on the cutting room floor. I mean, there's some demonstrations and so forth. Demonstration against the biggest polluter outside of Salt Lake, Kennicott, and there's also some very good things that Peaceful Uprising, which Tim started, were doing, which is they'll go into the inner city and they'll build a garden for an inner city school and have it all ready for planting on Monday morning. So things like that. We tried to keep a pretty straight line, if you would, with Tim and what Tim was doing, but he did co-found Peaceful Uprising, which is doing an awful lot of good work around this country in terms of protesting tar sands, the pipeline, tons of stuff.
Well, Beth and George Gage, the film is Bitter 70. Thank you so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
Great.
Well, thank you for the really good questions, and we appreciate being on your show.